Coming up on WVU News, I'm Alex Traficani, and I'll tell you how Monongalia County schools are cracking down on one of the biggest issues kids face today.
I'm Brandon Ruda, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you how this small city ranked best place to start a career.
Straight ahead, I'm Kirsten Costco, and I'll tell you how more than 30 international students at WVU are rallying for a change halfway across the world. WVU News starts now.
The recent revolution in Egypt has led to an upheaval in the country. President Hosni Mubarak has stepped down and the military has taken control of the country. I'm Emily Braun.
And straight ahead, we'll tell you how WVU students are supporting the Egyptian revolution. I'm Ashley Ward, and you're watching WVU News, a newscast produced by journalism students at West Virginia University.
The Egyptian government switched off the internet for 5 days, and its people took to the streets.
That's right, Emily. And some students at West Virginia University celebrated the resignation of President Hosni Mubarak following a protest here at the school.
And many WVU students here are hoping things in Egypt will get better, but experts say the change of power is only the beginning. WVU News reporter Kirsten Costco joins us now with the latest. Kirsten?
Thanks, Emily and Ashley. The military is promising a smooth transition to civilian rule, and they have been more supportive of the civilian population than Mubarak's government in the past. For more than 30 years, the Egyptian people have dealt with a semi-democracy. Their government even shut down internet and cell phone service. I found out how students here in Morgantown are gathering to support the freedom of democracy in the Middle Eastern country.
Hey Obama! Hey Obama! Stop supporting the dictator! Stop supporting the dictator!
Asim Othman is a Morgantown resident who is rallying to support his brothers and sisters in Egypt.
They changed the election results, and that's why these events have accumulated together, and that's why this rise happened.
Othman and others rallied outside the mountain layer to raise awareness about what is happening in Egypt.
And what we are here for, supporting our brother there and supporting their demands, what they're asking for to change the regime, because we have this regime for 30 years, and until now we didn't have any free elections or even the right to select our president.
The rallies here on campus coincide with the countrywide demonstrations taking place in Africa. WVU political science professor David Hauser says he doesn't think Egyptian President Mubarak will be gone anytime soon.
I don't think we know exactly how it's going to pan out yet. The Obama administration came out about a week ago and said pretty publicly and clearly it's time for Mubarak to go. It's time to start the process of transition.
Just a few days ago, more than 30 local Egyptians rallied right here on campus to support their country's fight for a free democracy. Othman says he and his fellow Egyptians are looking for support from President Obama as well as the local community in Morgantown to get the issues in Egypt resolved. The Egyptian people will vote for a new president in the coming months in a special election. Ashley, back to you.
While Egypt is in the process of reforming its laws, the state legislature is also trying to make changes to a controversial bill. Mary Power has more on a sport that is fighting to allow professional competition in West Virginia.
Neil Hurl is a father and a fighter. He is the general manager of Morgantown Martial Art. He says he does not understand the opposition to his sport.
I can't tell you why. There's a lot of revenue that can be gained from it for the state. I can't see a reason not to legalize it.
Hurl is a proponent of the legalization of mixed martial arts. MMA uses a combination of striking, grappling, and sparring. Mixed martial arts is controversial because of violence in cages like this. The West Virginia Senate is set to vote on a bill that includes the legalization of MMA. West Virginia is one of 3 states where the sport is illegal. The bill will place MMA under the Athletic Commission's jurisdiction.
I think people are scared because they think it's something that it's not. They think it's kind of like, barbaric and 2 cavemen going at it, when it's a lot more skill and technique.
MMA fighter Wilton Bunn says that the rules vary from state to state. He says there are misconceptions about the sport's violence. Bunn says the different styles of fighting distribute blows instead of focusing on the head and torso, as in boxing.
Things like boxing is a little bit more dangerous because you're only allowed to hit the head and the body.
A study by Johns Hopkins says that MMA matches result in fewer knockouts and have less risk of traumatic brain injuries than boxing. Boxing is illegal in West Virginia.
There's been a lot of safety measures put into play now that protect the fighters, and honestly, people that think it's barbaric.
The House voted 53 to 37 in favor of legalization of MMA. There is no date set for the vote in the Senate. Mary Power, WVU News, Morgantown.
For mixed martial arts to be legalized in West Virginia, the bill must pass in the Senate and be approved by the governor. There is no date set yet for the vote in the Senate.
Speaking of politics, political CNN analyst Roland Martin recently spoke to students at WVU about overcoming life's obstacles. Roland Martin was named one of the most influential African Americans in the United States by Ebony magazine. Students gathered in the Mountain Layer Ballroom as he spoke about his road to success and what it took to get where he is today. Martin encouraged students to work hard to accomplish their goals despite stereotypes that may exist.
I think that is a fundamental problem that we have. We do it all the time, and people really never think about how their own personal biases, but more importantly, their lack of an inclusive community plays a role in the coverage we see.
Martin is also a commentator for TV1 cable network and has interviewed President Barack Obama. He also won the NAACP award for Best Interview with First Lady Michelle Obama.
While much of the country is still suffering from a poor economy, our small city of Morgantown is flourishing with one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country. WVU News reporter Brandon Ruda explains why Morgantown is America's best kept secret.
Forbes, CNN, Time Magazine. These are just some of the names that have recognized Morgantown and its economic success. Forbes magazine has ranked Morgantown in the top 10 best places to start a career 4 years in a row. Small business manager Keith Rowlands works and lives in Morgantown.
Yeah, I guess you could say it was the job market. I got the job here. It was pretty much aimed right at my major in business management. I got it here in April, so I started working before I even graduated. So it was a nice transition from school to the workplace.
And with an increase in business and economic development comes opportunities, and Morgantown has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country at 6.5%.
It's a nice place to live. It's a good climate overall, good business environment, good place to start a business, and thus many people have followed that trend and decided to be successful.
A low unemployment rate is not all Morgantown has to offer. With a growing restaurant district and a great arts and entertainment culture, there are plenty of things for people in Morgantown to do. Officials say many of its residents are students that used to attend West Virginia University.
Many things to do. Staying in the college town, obviously, I think it's making the transition for me into the real world a little bit easier. Staying in the town that I'm used to for the last couple of years while starting my career.
With its economy on the rise, a low unemployment rate, and a variety of activities to do, Morgantown is a small city with a big heart. Brandon Ruda, WVU News, Morgantown.
Even though Morgantown is a great place to live, there are still problems that your kids might face every day.
That's right, Ashley. Websites like Facebook are making it easier for bullies to harass kids. However, there are steps you can take to protect your child. WVU News reporter Alex Traficante has more on this story. Alex?
Thanks, Emily and Ashley. With an estimated 1 in 3 young people bullied online or through text messaging, it's no surprise that this anonymous way of bullying is a new way of harassment.
Bullying has always been an issue for kids, parents, and school officials. But advances in technology led to a new form of bullying known as cyberbullying, bullying through text messages and the internet.
Cyberbullying has escalated it and allowed it to be a little more anonymous from kid to kid.
Parent Yolanda Gill says adults are unaware when cyberbullying occurs because they can't recognize it.
They have skills that older people don't even know about. Then they know things that you don't know about. Even the way that they text in a code that if you don't know what they're saying, you just don't know what's going on.
Officials say the most common form of cyberbullying is through texting on cell phones. Cyberbullying is also big on social media. That's why school official Nancy Napolillo says the schools are limiting students' use of the internet through a federal program called E-Rate, which blocks access to certain websites.
All of our Facebook, everything is blocked. We actually even know how many times people try to hit Facebook when they're not hitting it. So it's all blocked within the school setting.
Over 80% of teens these days own a cell phone. Now they can text, chat, or even access their Facebook from almost anywhere, including schools. Facebook has over 5 million users, with over 50% of their users logging in every day. Cyberbullying is most common in ages 16 to 18. Parents like Gil hope the problem lessens before she sends her son to high school.
Middle school is really bad too, but high school is worse. It's way worse.
Officials encourage parents to talk to their teens about cyberbullying and how it can lead to serious consequences.
For more information about cyberbullying and how you can protect your kids against it, you can visit stopcyberbullying.org. The website is at the bottom of your screen. Emily and Ashley, back to you.
Thanks, Alex. If I had a kid in school, I would definitely be worried about cyberbullying.
I would too, Emily. But switching to sports, coming up, we'll tell you which star athlete could win one of the most impressive awards for their performance on the court and in the classroom.
Coming up next on WVU News, I'm Matt Hawsworth, and I'll tell you about one lady mountaineer who's a finalist for one of the most prestigious awards in college basketball.
WVU, West Virginia's window to the world.
The average Division I student athlete is not your typical college student. Practices, games, and classes make up a majority of their schedule on most days.
That's right, Emily. Very few student athletes are able to keep up with the demands of being both a student and an athlete, but some do have the ability to excel in both areas. Our WVU sports reporter, Matt Hawsworth, joins us with more about one mountaineer who is now being nationally recognized for her duties as a student and an athlete. Matt?
Thanks, Ashley and Emily. There are nearly 3,500 senior student athletes competing in Division I women's college basketball, but there's a senior on the Mountaineer women's basketball team that has stood out among the rest. Some of the most prominent awards in women's college basketball include the Naismith Award, the Wade Trophy, and the John R. Wooden Award, to name a few. These honors typically go to the most dominant athlete during the year, but rarely do you see student athletes being rewarded with a trophy that recognizes their achievements both on and off the court.
Liz Rapella's four-year career as a member of the WVU women's basketball team has been nothing short of spectacular. But being a finalist for the Lowe Senior Class Award is something Rapella says ranks high on her long list of accomplishments.
I mean, awesome. A national award like that with names like Maya Moore, and I mean, she's a great player, and there's a lot of great players on that list, so to win it would be, you know, pretty special, and I'd be honored.
The Lowe Senior Class Award is presented each year to a senior student athlete that embodies the true meaning of competition, character, community, and classroom. And Mountaineer fans feel Rapella has meant a whole lot to the team.
I don't want to say she's everything to this program, but she's everything to this program.
Rapella has averaged nearly 12 points per game throughout her 4 years at WVU, but it doesn't end there. Rapella also maintains a 3.96 GPA in the classroom and constantly visits the Ruby Memorial Children's Hospital. But she knows none of this would be possible without her teammates and Coach Carey.
But also, I couldn't have gotten that without my teammates and Coach Carey. I mean, Coach Carey, ever since I got here, since freshman year, has made me a better player each year. So a lot of that goes to him, too.
Rapella can only hope her hard work pays off.
Fans are allowed to vote once per day leading up to the winner being announced during the Women's Final Four in Indianapolis. To vote, go to www.seniorclassaward.com and click on the women's basketball link under the sports menu.
Thanks, Matt. Hopefully Liz wins that award. She deserves it.
Yeah, she's been doing great on the courtroom and in the classroom. Well, that's going to do it for us this week on WVU News. Remember to visit us online at itunes.wvu.edu. I'm Ashley Ward.
And I'm Emily Braun. You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube. The address is at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching WVU News.